Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and today we are looking at Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz is an awesome Pokemon that is just great for anti-setups, anti-tanking, just a Pokemon that you can switch in safely to with a lot of things and just ruin your opponent's momentum. Now, what I feel makes Mandibuzz very strong is that it isn't played a lot. Because if Mandibuzz was played enough to where it was really worrying people and that people would have to feel comfortable bringing something that can handle Mandibuzz, then it wouldn't be as strong because it's one of those Pokemon that doesn't see a crazy level of play, but when it hits the field and you're not ready for it, you are going to be stopped cold. So let's go and look at the EVs and stats and all that. That looks pretty awesome. Great hit points, great defenses, and as always, you can do whatever you want with the defenses. If you need a more physically defensive Pokemon, go for it. Specially defensive Pokemon, go for it. I just recommend that you go with a bold nature or the not calm nature, the defense minus attack or defense minus special attack, so impish, mostly because you're not going to be using anything offensive, whatever nature you can get your hands on. Now, if you want to have really balanced out spread, that's what I have here, and I feel it's very good because Mandibuzz is a very hard Pokemon to just straight up KO. Unless you're already set up, it's really hard. Or unless you have something that can just, hit it super effective. Now, if we go and look at its moves, I was thinking there's a lot of things you can do. You can have Taunt, or you can have Whirlwind. Mandibuzz gets both. It depends on what you want to do. Do you want to prevent your opponent from setting up, or do you want to take it away once they've already set up? Then we also have Foul Play. Foul Play is a great move. If your opponent has set up, you can use that against them. Or you can just have something to hit next to Toxic. You set up Toxic, chip away with some extra damage on Foul Play, and really just beat your opponent up. Mandibuzz is very hard to handle. So, also on top of that, we have Swagger and Toxic. Toxic for the stall, Swagger because the Swagger Foul Play combo is just devastating, and Roost because when you're this tanky of a Pokemon, it is very hard to 1, even 2 hit KO you, so you can stay very healthy with Roost and Leftovers, thus making your opponent have nothing to do. It essentially just cancels out your opponent setting up, it breaks down their tanks, it breaks down their wall Pokemon, and it's just a safe switch in a lot of situations, and it's going to force them to bring out their MVP to try to handle you. So that's why I feel makes Mandibuzz very strong, is that if you're not ready for it, you don't know what it's going to pack, you don't know how devastating it's going to be to your team. Now, on top of that, there's always 2 ways to run a Pokemon. This is the crazy set right here. This is using Weak Armor to lower your tankiness, but get faster, and then Nasty Plot to go full out, just sweep on them. Now if we go and look over here, I was recommending 200 hit points, or 200 EVs into hit points, that way you still have great hit point bulk, and your naturally high defenses don't really need any love and care. So if we also look at this, 200 special attack and then 240 speed when you go with the timid nature, I'm just recommending something around this. You can always change it up to make yourself stronger if you don't feel you need to be as fast. It's what you want to do, it's what your team needs. Kind of like with the tankiness, if you want to have a more special defensive Pokemon on your team, go for it. If you need more defensive, go for it. Also with the ability, Overcoat. Pokemon is immune to residual weather damage and powder moves. Now if we go over here, Weak Armor, physical attack hits this Pokemon, defense is lowered by 1 and speed is boosted by 1. So effectively what you're doing here is you're using your base tankiness to lower it. You're using that to set up because since you're a really hard 1-hit KO Pokemon, you set up Nasty Plot. A lot of Pokemon right now are running physically defensive sets, which means you're going to most likely get a speed boost, and now you're over 360 speed, or hanging around 360 speed, depending on where your speed investment is, and you have a free +2, which means your special attack is going to be around 400 if you run the set similar to this. Now you have a Stab Air Slash that's going to have a chance to flinch, Stab Dark Pulse that's going to hit a lot of Pokemon hard, and Citrus Berry to keep yourself going, as well as Roost. What I like about this set is because if people expect Mandibuzz to just be an anti-tank, and they see that, you bring in Mandibuzz, one of their Pokemon is already set up, one of their Pokemon is already a very strong tank, and they expect you Taunt, Whirlwind, Toxicate, they're probably just feeling safer, switch out into a strong, hard-hitting Pokemon to where you're going to waste a turn. But if you outpredict them and you have the Nasty Plot, you use Nasty Plot, they switch out, you just got a free +2 to your special attack, and now you're able to start doing some damage. So, like I said, there's always 2 ways to run the Pokemon. The steady, tried and true method what the Pokemon is best at, or the other method that if you can use it to play against your opponent, if you can outpredict them, if they don't understand what's going to happen, you can use that against them to very, very good results. So this is what I was thinking for Mandibuzz. Very good Pokemon. With that Whirlwind, you can take out tanks. With that Taunt, you can stop a lot of setups. It's just a very strong Pokemon that I feel should get a bit more play, but like I said, if it gets too much play, it won't be strong anymore, so you have to use it wisely. It's a very special niche Pokemon, and I really enjoy that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all, as always, have a nice day.